Live News Desk. I'm Juliette Goodrich.
Let's go ahead and bring in our Darren Peck, who's been watching those winds and the fire conditions for us. Darren?
And the smoke, which is that's the one shared experience we're all going to have today. When you step outside pretty much anywhere in the Bay Area, you're going to see it. Question is, which direction do you have to look to see it? If you're in the city or the Bay Area, you're looking east, because that's where most of it is. The view from the top of the Salesforce Tower shows you not only the smoke, but also an interesting aspect about why the smoke's behaving the way it is. First of all, this looks directly east from the financial district in San Francisco. The fire is well to the north of here. So right away we can see there is a bit of a northerly wind that's taking that smoke and pushing it to the southeast. And it's going mainly over the hills in Contra Costa County. But look how it's not rising. You can clearly see there's a cap in the atmosphere. That's your inversion. So the smoke is not able to dissipate any higher. It pretty much hits the ceiling right here and then has to spread along that ceiling all the way to the south, which means we can't get rid of it as easily as we would have otherwise. And the high pressure responsible for forming that inversion, for pushing down on the atmosphere and creating that lid right there, also warmed us up quite a bit today. Take a look at the numbers. We hit 91 in Santa Rosa, 88 in Concord, but what really stands out are the numbers near the coast. 83 in San Francisco. Some places along the coastline were 20 degrees above average today. And there is a heat advisory for the coast and the immediate bay that stays in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. I mean, that would be the headline in the forecast if we weren't looking ahead to another significant wind event. And since we are, let's start talking about that. Red flag warning starts Saturday night to Monday morning. You see the timing up here. So when we show these to you, you can always look for the timing up there first. Then we'll get the details down here. And I'll point out the detail that matters the most. It's this one, 35 to 80 mile an hour gusts in the mountains. That would make this far more significant than the last two wind events that have come through. This will be the strongest one since the big event of 2017, and that one gave us 80 mile an hour gusts through the North Bay Hills, and that was the scenario that ultimately led to the Tubbs fire. Doesn't mean this has to go that way, but the conditions are certainly going to be there. I switched the map to something else here because it's not just the red flag warning. There are also high wind watches and advisories, and now look at the areas in blue because this now impacts the communities where we actually live. The last two events, the red flag warnings, have really been focused in the mountains. This event for Saturday night into Monday is going to be able to bring the winds down to lower elevations and make it windy where you live. Specifically if you live in the North Bay or in the East Bay. Gusts potentially up to 35 or 40 coming on Sunday morning. And the timing on that really does bring us from Saturday night, around midnight, into Sunday morning. And I'm going to have a lot more detail on the timing. I want to show you the future cast for the extreme winds when I check back with you again in just a few minutes in the next forecast. But for now, other aspects to discuss. They're your daytime highs for Saturday, hardly the headline here. And in the 7-day forecast, notice how the temperatures are going to cool down a bit. As we get into the weekend and early next week, we basically cool back down to average, but it is those small little blue icons of wind on Sunday which really are the headline. And you'd never know just by looking at those little wind icons on there the degree to which the wind is going to be a factor. And we'll talk more about that as well coming up in the next half hour, guys. For now, back over to you.
All right, Darren, thank you.